It's interesting. One of the plays I talk about in that book is the play involving Steve Bartman, the Chicago Cubs guy who reached into the stands during a playoff game, and he prevented an out from being made. Chicago
Yes.
went on to lose the playoffs,
Right.
and he's
I
been sort of
remember that.
ostracized by the city of Chicago ever since. And recently, the Cubs won the World Series last year for the first time since 1908, and the team gave Steve Bartman a World Series ring. And in fact, they're going to have a World Series day, Steve Bartman Day in his honor because of all the grief he's had to suffer over the last 15 or 16 years, simply because there was a ball hit barely into foul territory. He reached up and interfered with the Cubs guy who was trying to catch the ball. But the day after that, there was a lot of discussion about whether or not he was within his rights, and what can the fielder do in terms of reaching over the wall? What can a fan do? And that happens all the time in baseball. That type of situation that you just don't see in other sports.
Well, we know from the law generally that there can be something that can be the law, the way a law is interpreted, or what the law actually is, and then that can change. A new Supreme Court case comes down and completely changes the way we understand a particular situation. So, I imagine, that there's at least discussion of situations like that in baseball too, because the rules change.
Well, it's funny. I actually do a seminar a lecture that I've given called Baseball in the Law, and I talk about all these situations in baseball that involve legal concepts. So, for example, say you're on your cell phone, you're sitting in the stands, and you're hit with a foul ball, and you're injured. That raises issues of assumption of the risk and whether or not that was your fault, or you shouldn't have been on your cell phone, or whether or not it doesn't make any difference whether you're on your cell phone. And there's all types of ways in which baseball and the law kind of intersect just like that.
Well, the law of free agency and the law of contracts for athletes really started as a big case involving, baseball player, I think from the Cardinals.
Curt Flood.
Curt Flood. There's...
Who didn't want to go to the Phillies, of all things.
Is that right? Who knew there was... I didn't...